Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us on the second installment of our Talentvis Webinar Career Advisory Series, brought to you by Talentvis and K-On Events. Today's topic is on job searching strategy during this recession times brought about by COVID. So, while we are waiting for people to settle in to the Zoom room, let me share a bit of background information. So, Talentvis is a recruitment and executive search firm with over 20 years of experience. They have offices in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, and Vietnam. As for K-On Events, they work with clients to transform physical events to virtual events. Okay, and as for the speaker today, our speaker today, Mr. Ivan Loo, he has spent over 10 years in recruitment and has handled things from executive search to temp and contract staffing. And he has a varied experience and works with different employers and job seekers across all sectors. He is currently based in KL, but he will be heading to the Vietnam office soon to head up the office there. So without further ado, let's welcome Ivan to share with us more on job searching strategy during COVID recession.
All right. Thanks a lot, Eunice, for the introduction. So, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar. And today I'm going to share with you all about some of the strategies related to job searching effort during the recession or pandemic situation. All right. So, before I further proceed, just get to know my audience better today. How many of you have actually lost your job due to this current pandemic situation? So perhaps you can type in the chat room, type 1 if your job is affected or you lost your job, or 0 if it brings 0 impact to your career or your job. So perhaps we leave it a couple of minutes for the participants to respond from there. Check. Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks for the feedback, so that I know where you guys are standing currently. It's good to know that most of you are still be able to retain your job during this situation. It's glad to hear that. And hopefully the sharing session today, you'll be able to pick up a thing or two in your search for your next career move. All right. So let's take a quick overview of the topics that I'm going to share today. Okay. First and foremost, I'm going to touch on some of the common challenges that we all face in job hunting effort today, the current job market sentiment, tips on how to strategize a job hunting effort, what are the key takeaways, and a couple of reference points you can look up to in case you need to do further research on this topic. All right. So let's look at some of the common challenges that we are seeing today. So during job applications, a lot of us, even including myself, to be honest, we send out a lot of resumes. We apply a lot of jobs online, and most often than not, we are not getting any calls after all these numerous applications. It can be quite frustrating after we applied for these jobs, and then still there's no call. And you'll be wondering, it's been weeks. When would HR finally call me, right? So I'm sure we all, a lot of us, we have this problem. And next, stiff competition. So what you are seeing here is a couple of screenshots from LinkedIn job portal. As you can see, the first screenshot, this company is looking for HR business partner for Southeast Asia based in KL office. All right. Just one single job advertisement, the employer receives 800 over applicants. And the second one, customer program manager, 300 over applicants. And the last one, processing executive, they receive more than 250 applicants. So the job market now is that the competition is really strong, where the jobs are very limited, but there are a lot of job seekers out there. So a lot of people are doing their best to get their next desired job. And how do you fare yourself against all these job seekers, like 100 above them? So maybe a couple of tips that you can rely on later in order to help you to stand up from amongst all this competition. Okay. So next, yes, we receive a lot of calls from recruiters or maybe from the HRs, but we are not receiving any. We are not being selected for interview. So a lot of times we'll be wondering, when I apply the job, I think I'm a good fit, I'm a perfect fit, but yet why am I always not shortlisted? Yeah. So I do receive a couple of feedbacks from job seekers on this, and sometimes it can be quite daunting as well, and demotivating at times. Yeah. So this is the most interesting part. No news after interview. I'm sure a lot of people out there, a lot of job seekers, they have this same situation, stages that they will go through when it comes to job searching. All right. After the interview, you'll be waiting patiently for the HR to call you back to give you some feedback or update. But after a while, you just couldn't take it any longer, and you want to make that call to follow up as how the scan picture looks. You call up to follow up with the hiring manager or the HR manager, but yet you don't receive any feedback from them or any updates. So you feel sad. And after all this effort that you've put in, you were being notified that, hey, the job is closed. The potential employer found someone else. You just get very frustrated and angry at times. Yeah. So these are some of the common challenges that a lot of job seekers face nowadays, and I'm sure there are a lot more than that. And so next on, let's take a look at the current market sentiment to understand better the current market condition, in order to strategize your strategy to next job. All right. So, okay, as you can see, these are some of the news clips I've gotten from the online platforms or newspaper. As you can see across Southeast Asia, there are a lot of renowned companies go on the retrenchment program. An example like this, on a group level, they laid off 260 employees. Garuda Airlines from Indonesia, they laid off 180 contract pilots. Air Asia, in Malaysia alone, they laid off 250 staff due to the pandemic situation. A very renowned car manufacturer, Rolls-Royce, they cut 240 jobs in Singapore office alone. And Gojek, a very popular app, they retrench 9% of their workforce in the Singapore office. And they are actually a lot more than just this. I just pick up some of the prestigious one that I shared with you. All right. Okay, so let's take a look at the from country perspective. All right. So the first news clip is actually from Malaysia. The Human Resource Ministry announced that they'll be expecting 50,000 people lost their jobs this year, especially on the manufacturing sector alone. Yeah. The second one will be from Indonesia, where the government expected 1.2 million workers there being laid off or furloughed due to the COVID-19 situation. And the third one is from Singapore, where the government 150 to 200,000 retrenchment in this year alone. So just to show you a little bit more about the unemployment rate across a few other countries. In case you wonder why I only selected these few countries, reason being because Talentvis, we operate across Southeast Asia with business presence and office in these few countries. The highest unemployment rate so far is Malaysia, standing at 5.3%. And this data was updated as of May 2020, and followed by Indonesia, 4.99%. Last updated was March 2020. Third would be Vietnam, 2.73%, updated quite recently on June 2020, and followed by Singapore and Thailand, where I believe they are doing fairly well, respectively at 4% and 1%. And this data was updated as of March 2020. So, gotten this data from tradingeconomics.com. You can visit this website if you need more information about other countries' unemployment rate. All right. So, so with all these things being shared, all this crisis, I believe one thing, when there is crisis, there is always opportunities out there. So we have to look at the bright side. We need to keep our head held high and look at the bright side. A quick research on a very popular online job portal, jobstreet.com. In Singapore alone, they have more than 30,000 active job advertisements. Malaysia, 16,000, Indonesia, over 13,000, and Vietnam, wow, that's a very impressive number of more than 50,000 active job advertisements at any single point of time. All right. Even within Talentvis itself, we have more than 2,000 active jobs across Southeast Asia. So there is always an opportunity no matter what happens. All right. So just be optimistic and look at the bright side. When one door closes, another door opens. Yeah. So next, let's open up more doors. Yeah. How? By strategizing your job hunting effort. Okay. So next one, I'm going to share with you all 6 tips that I personally suggested to you all that maybe you can try on in your job hunting effort. Okay. First and foremost, multiple channels. This is very important because a lot of applicants nowadays, because of convenience, they just put a few online job portals and apply and submit CV to a lot of companies, hoping that the more they submit, the more they will get in return. Yeah. So all I'm saying is don't just rely on online job portals. There are other platforms as well you can browse through for jobs. You can rely on. All right. Some other platforms like even social media, Facebook and LinkedIn. A lot of people they got their job through Facebook and LinkedIn. Even ourselves as a recruitment consultant in this industry, we leverage on this platform as well to look for candidates. So be active, search in social media, and there are a lot of subgroups that you can actually join on all these platforms, specifically catered to your industry or your location. Yeah, and then you'll see a lot of job openings there actually. And communication apps, even WhatsApp and Telegram. You can find job through WhatsApp and Telegram. How? When you join a lot of subgroups in social media, recruiters will normally create a chat group in WhatsApp, Telegram, and they will blast out, they will share the job openings that they have on hand in these communication channels, yeah, to attract candidates, to get applicants. So join a few more and get yourself exposed to all these communication channels. Keep yourself abreast of what are the hiring positions out there. And if you see any suitable ones, if you are interested in anyone, then you can reach out to the person in charge respectively. All right. And next on, this one is very, very important. In fact, a lot of job seekers, they secure their job through these channels. It's connections and personal connection and network. Okay, try to leverage on your personal connection, your network, your friends, your ex-colleagues, ex-subordinates, ex-bosses. Stay in touch with them. Have a casual chat with them, and let them know that you are opening up for other opportunity, what you are looking for. Perhaps they might be able to connect you with someone who is hiring. Even if they are not, but they will be able to connect you to someone who is hiring. And believe it or not, at these days and age, a lot of times, companies do not advertise their hiring positions online, not in job portals, not in social media platform, because they have a very active network and connection. And through word of mouth, they'll be able to hire someone from there. So this is very important. Stay connected and keep yourself abreast of what's happening in your industry. Yeah. So this will be the first tips that I personally suggested to you all. And secondly, this is the most interesting part and I think it will save you a lot of efforts and time and hassle. Collaborate with the recruitment consultants, work together with them. Okay, how so? By doing that, you need to know your goals. All right, what is your niche? What's your industry? What's your desired job position? What companies you would like to work for? Companies you tried not to work for? And you have to know all this, and then you need to carry out research. Research as in, let's say you are from manufacturing industry, right? You need to do a lot of research, especially on LinkedIn platform. Try to find out who are the recruiters hiring in your respective industry. Connect with them, all right? Connect with a few of them and share with them your current situation, share with them your story, share with them what I mentioned just now, what kind of companies you would like to work for, what's your desired position, highlight to them your career interest, so that with all this information they gotten from you, they know how to represent you better and how to recommend jobs to you and recommend yourself, your career profile to their clients. All right. That be courteous and be respectful. Okay. It works both way. Communication always works both way. Okay. Just like anyone, recruiters prefer to work with people they can communicate effectively with. All right. The way you communicate with them is actually an indication of how you're going to present yourself during an interview with your client, with the hiring manager. So make sure you communicate effectively with them with respect, and I'm sure you want to leave that good impression of you, the level of professionalism that you carry, the level of positiveness you carry in yourself to portray this to the third party so that they will be happily working together with you. Okay. Next, make use of their knowledge. By that, I mean recruiters, we browse through a lot of CVs on a daily basis. All right. Uh, Most likely they are aware of what's the market movement, what's happening in the market, the company movement, like so and so from this company and another competitor company. Make use of their knowledge. All right. Utilize their knowledge. And because they work so well with the HR or the hiring manager, they know their client's expectation. All right, they will be able to advise you to how to craft your CV or some of the interview technique, yeah, that you can actually pursue to stand a better chance during the interview or to present yourself better. All right, so make use of their knowledge and make full use of them. Okay, so next on, be open and trust a recruiter. Like it or not, you have to trust them. All recruiters practice a high level of professionalism. Yeah. So in that, what I mean is that if you have something that you feel like you want to hide, or maybe a employment gaps due to some personal things that happen, yeah, or maybe switch career a couple of times in a very short span of time, yeah, be open and share with the recruiter, all right, because if they get to know your story, uh, they will be able to present you better. Okay, um, that's actually the benefits of working with recruiters, because if let's say one is um, one change job, like let's say five positions, five different jobs in the past 5 years, right? If you apply job on Job Street or any online portal, when the HR browse through your CV, chances of you getting shortlisted is very slim. But if you work with a recruiter, the recruiter will be able to turn things around. Yeah, because they know what exactly happened to you. They're able to tell your story, to present you better to their client. So even though you change your jobs, 5 jobs in the past 5 years, the recruiters will be able to explain on behalf, and that maybe their client will give you a chance to interview, to explain yourself face to face to the hiring manager. So that's actually one of the benefits of collaborating with a consultant. Okay, and next, follow through with commitment. This is very important because it's about your personal branding, or your level of commitment to certain things. All right. If let's say a recruiter they schedule you for an interview or send you an assessment to be done, and you have agreed to it, no matter what, by hook or by crook, uh, honor your word. All right. Because you otherwise it will reflect poorly on you, and if you leave that bad impression, uh, perhaps the recruiter moving forward, they'll a better quality candidate based on their assessment, based on their point of view. Yeah. So you want to keep that relationship going. And if one job, if you didn't make it for the first time, there will always be second, third, and fourth time and moving forward. So keep that relationship going and following your commitments. This is very important. Okay, and collaborating with recruitment consultants, the last tip: stay in touch even after you landed a job. Okay, uh, most of the time recruiters stay in the industry for a very long time. It could a couple of years and more. Yeah, so stay in touch with them. Even though if they are no longer in the industry, they can always connect with someone they know of that still specialize in your area or your niche. All right. So yes, maybe you've landed a job and that you no longer need them, but who knows, maybe 3, 5 years later, or even 10 years down the road, if you are opening up for new opportunity again, all right, you can always go back to the consultants you work with, and and they will be happy to assist you. All right, send them your latest updated resume. Send for coffee chat with them. Share with them new updates about you, your story, so that they can represent you again your next career. Okay, so that's about collaborating with the recruitment consultants. And so far, any questions from the participants? No? All right. So I will move on to my next suggested tips. All right. Yeah. Okay. There is a question posted here. What is a good time range during COVID to find a job? I would say it's not so much about the time range. In terms of time range, I believe there's no good time or bad time, but rather it's about demand and supply. All right. Um, when there's a company looking for someone like yourself, then it's a good time range. But it's more about demand and supply. So sometimes, even if you are actively looking for a job, you wanted one, but there's no job position of such that then probably that's not a good time. So it's about demand and supply. Um, Another question here: if I can't find my desired job, what should I do? Should I go for perm temp job first? Okay, good question. In fact, this is one of the tips I'm going to share at a later stage. Uh, I would say yes. If let's say there's no job at this moment, a temp or contract job first, it's always a better option. Yeah. Pick it up, give all your best, and after that couple of months of a contractual period, I'm sure if you're doing very well, you outperform, the company will be gladly to absorb you as a permanent staff. Yeah. So, all right. So let's continue to my next slide. Customizing your resume. Okay. This is your resume is a vital tool. It's a marketing tool that represents you without you being physically present in front of the HR, the hiring manager. Right? You need to have a well-crafted CV that makes your application stand out and leaves a better first impression about you. Okay. In job application, especially online platform, all right, there is no one size fits all kind of strategy. Okay, you need to customize your resume before you hit the apply button. The CV must be catered specifically to the job that you are applying for. Okay, showcase some of the accomplishments that you think the HR or the hiring manager can relate to when they browse through your resume. And this will make your resume stands out amongst all other applicants. And also it shows that you actually put in more effort in your resume than others. So try not to hit multiple apply buttons in like more than 10 or 20 job applications. Yeah, be specific. Tailor-make your resume to each and every job that you applied for. Yeah, you can even come up with a cover letter if need be to highlight things that you think it's relatable to the organization or to the role that you're applying for. Yeah, all this small effort actually counts, and it definitely will make you a better candidate, highlight your candidacy better, right? And next, be prepared. Know the company you applied for. Some of the common feedbacks we receive from our clients, a lot of companies, they advertise their jobs online. And the common feedbacks we receive from our clients is that they receive thousands, like the news clip I shared with you just now, 800 over, 300 over of applicants applied to their job. So when they selected a few and they called up to the candidate for a phone interview, most often than not, candidates are not even aware or they don't remember which company and what job they applied for. Yeah. So during the phone interview, they were frozen. Yeah. They don't know how to continue the conversation. They don't even know where to start. And all this leaves a very bad impression on you. And worst come to worst, the chance of getting face-to-face interview. So do some homework before you apply for the job. Know a little bit more about the company, know a little bit more about the job that you're applying for. So be ready. And whenever the HR, the hiring manager calls you up, you know which one, and then you'll be able to present yourself better. Um, and you show the effort that you've done your homework. You'll be able to carry the conversation well and know about the company, the organization better. Yeah, all these are very important. All right, and with all the homework done, of course, it will not go to waste, because if let's say you're shortlisted for face-to-face interview, you can still use this information during the face-to-face interview. It's very important, this part. Yeah. So let's just say after all the things that you when you finally got a chance for a face-to-face interview with the hiring manager. So what's next? Tell yourself, okay, it's finally the time that you finally got a chance to meet the hiring manager, to meet the potential uh, superior that you're going to work with. All right, it's the time you showcase yourself, what you've got to offer, what you have to offer, bring to the table. All right, so try to relate yourself more to the positions that you are interviewing for, and share relevant accomplishments, value adds that can contribute, that the hiring manager can relate to. Yeah. So make sure whatever that you are sharing is relevant, and and all this will actually make you stand out from other applicants, other interviewees, and by doing this, it also shows that you are a good candidate with business acumen, uh, rather than just someone who is able to complete a task. Yeah. So who doesn't like to hire someone with value adds, right? There's always something we can do further, some initiatives that we can do further to make things better, to help the organization rest better. Yeah. So all these are very important. And the next tips is actually related to one of the questions shared earlier. Be flexible. Um, like it or not, now it's a lot of our clients also feedback to us the same comment. Uh, now in today's job market, it's about the employer market. All right, there are only that many job positions out there, but tons of job seekers. So it's like the supply and demand thing. All right, so you have to be flexible when it comes to job offer. All right, you come across situation where the potential employer offers you a contract position instead of a perm role that you applied for. All right, due to certain reasons, or maybe they have very limited headcount for perm staff. Yeah, or a lateral move compared to your current or your last drawn remuneration package, or maybe even slight pay cut. Yeah, and comes with maybe additional portfolio, additional tasks that are being assigned. Okay, so be flexible. Uh, all this is just for temporary, and once if you do well, if you perform well, you will be better and stronger at a later stage. Let's say a contract position, if you perform really well, I'm sure the organization will absorb you as a permanent staff a couple of months later. All right. So because of the current market condition, there can be many different outcomes after a job, after an interview. So be ready for it and be flexible. Um, be flexible about it. All right. So so far, these are all the 6 tips that I personally suggest um, participants today to share. So any questions so far? Oh, Okay, so, all right.
No worries, we can continue first. Then after that, for the Q&A session, we can have some time for it at the end of the session.
Okay, that will do. All right. So some of the key takeaways to share with all of you this difficult time. Uh, there's no easy way or guarantee success in job hunting effort. Whatever I'm sharing, it's tips that help you to stand up further, to give you the competitive advantage, give you a better chance of getting shortlisted. But again, there's no easy way or guarantee success in job hunting or in anything in the life aspect. All right, and bear in mind, uh, good things never come easy. So the job hunting effort, that the process could be daunting, but what comes after, it's rewarding. All right, keep this in your mind. Good things never come easy. Okay, and employment is a two-way street. As much as you wanted to role, the package, the remuneration that it entails, all right, you need to show how you can value add to the potential employer. You need to gain their trust during that uh, short, maybe 1 or 2 hours of interview session. All right, it works both ways. As much as you want it, you need to show um, how much you can contribute. All right, give and take. And last but not least, head held high, hang on tight there. Things will take a turn for the better. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Yeah. So stay strong there. Good things will come after. All right. So next on, these are some of the reference points can visit in case you study a little bit more about the topic today. You're going to study more to do a little bit more about the research. Yeah, you can rely on these reference points. And with that, that leads to our next Q&A session from the floor. So um, open to everyone. Feel free to ask if you have any questions.
Okay, thanks Ivan for your, it was very helpful. A lot of the tips were very practical. There is a question here from Melody. She's asking, could you advise any red flags from potential employers that we should be aware of during job search, especially during this COVID season?
Okay, good question. Thanks, Melody. Red flags, right? Red flag, yes, you will notice during the interview session, I would say because interview session is more about get to know each other. And again, like I said, communication is two-way street. And interview session is not just the employer assessing the candidate, uh, but also in the meantime, the candidate assess the potential employer. All right. Some of the red flags that I can share with you, it's um, the setup of the organization. All right. Some companies, they don't even have maybe a proper website. Could it be the recently set up organization, or maybe they are revamping their website? Try to ask this during the interview session to know a little bit more, and so that you can assess further. And what the couple of questions you can ask on top of that is what's the hiring manager's expectation? Um, like, of course, sometimes we need to perform jobs outside of our portfolio, but to what level? All this you can assess through the interview session. And red flags would be another thing is how well is the company doing? How's the staff turnaround? Turnover, staff turnover, the attrition rate, all these things. You can actually uh, be able to smell a thing or two from there. You'll be able to pick up some red flags from there. If there are any things any answers given to you that you think it's not too convincing to yourself, then it could be a red flag. All right. So trust your gut feeling. And again, like I mentioned just now, if you're working with a recruitment consultant, if you are not uh, able to ask this question during the interview, you can ask later. You can ask the consultant. The consultant will be able to share with you in detail. So from there, you can further gauge the situation, and yeah, you'll be able to assess. Yeah. So hope this able to explain clarifies the questions asked earlier. Yeah. So
Yeah, Ivan will also be sharing his email and his contact details. So, for example, let's say along your job search, if you do find any, um, you know, suspicious, employer that you might think that something's not right, you could always drop him an email, or you can drop email to corporate at Talentvis or to Ivan Loo. Yeah, and they'll be happy to advise you specifically from there as well.
yes, please welcome to connect with me. You can find me on LinkedIn, or you can drop me an email to my email address. Uh, there are a lot of individual case-to-case basis that I might not be able to share everything in this webinar session, but please, you're welcome to connect with me, and I'll be able to share with you my personal experience and my opinion on what are the situations that you're currently going through. All right. I'll be more than glad to assist you in this time. All right. So also, for more information about our organization, Talentvis, feel free to visit our website at www.talentvis.com. Okay. So pretty much that will be all about our webinar session today. Thanks a lot for participating, and hope you all have a nice day ahead. All right. So
Thank you so much for your time, everybody. Yeah.
thank
Thanks,
you.
Ivan, for your sharing. Hey,
No problem.
if there are no other questions, we'll end the seminar here today. If you still have any other questions, feel free to email Ivan or drop us an email corporate@talentvis.com, Ivan Loo @talentvis.com. Thank you so much for your time, and see you then, everybody.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you. We have come to the end of the webinar. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Ivan or Talentvis at the email shown below. Have a nice day. Goodbye.